ass whooping that I'm watching right now of my team taking, or we could talk about the ass whooping my team took.
it it was not a good week for New York sports. Well, I guess for
Oh, it
your
was
New
not a
York
good
sports.
day. It was not a good day.
Yeah,
That day I was like, oh my God, had the Liberty not won,
yeah.
it would have y'all need to check on Harland and make sure he's
Well,
okay.
I was saying that you get to do the meme now with Thanos. But the Liberty won their championship. What did it cost? Everything. And it's the
Every,
Giants and the Mets and everything else.
I, I saw another thing saying the Liberty just got it started. The Liberty just got it started. We needed one,
Oh, okay. So
and
that's
then
the
who
beginning of the
knows?
year of championships. Is Liberty? Okay, maybe.
So, well, listen. If you talk about for the city, it could be Liberty wins, Yankees win,
Yeah.
Giants win. Because I don't think the Jets are going to win. I don't think the Giants are going
We can talk about both possibilities.
to
Sure.
but but I will like to start this off with saying I will probably be calling the man by his name, Saquon Barkley.
Oh, you kind of have
He
to,
will
I
not
think.
be. And I'll tell you what did it. I was watching a video
Yeah.
on Instagram
Oh, is it when
of Nick.
Sirianni was trying to get him out there to break his personal record?
Salute,
And he said
salute
no.
to.
I mean,
He's like, no, let the guys play.
yeah, let the
Let the
young
guys
let the
play.
young guys eat. I think he said or something like that, right?
Yes, yes. I said, damn it, man. He was always a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Always been a stand-up guy. And that was a stand-up move. Just don't hurt us too bad. You already killed us. I had already
Yeah.
killed us.
The only
The
thing he didn't
game,
do was get in the end zone a lot. He only got in once, right?
yes. The game was pretty much so the Giants started the game off. It was a defensive game.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Giants sacked the Giants sacked Hurts like 4 or 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't sack Daniel Jones about 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Andrew Thomas's first game out,
Mm-hmm.
left tackle becomes a turnstile immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It ruined so much. He was not safe. He was not safe. It was reminiscent of last year all over again. The offense looked stagnant. Daniel Jones couldn't find anyone. Once again, I didn't realize this until they said the stat. The Giants are second now in the league in drop passes. So that also doesn't help drives.
No, nope, sure
Um,
doesn't.
but the game started off where it was like, okay, it's going to be a defensive battle. No points were scored in the first quarter. Just punt, punt, no points scored in the first quarter.
Yep.
Eagles haven't scored a point in the first quarter in quite some time, apparently, is the stat that got brought up.
Yep. Quite some time. I think it's probably the
the,
actual.
the time period,
Mm-hmm.
the length of time that passed. Um, but then, like what always happens with Saquon, you keep giving him the ball enough times, he's going to break one. It's just a matter of time. Sometimes he needs seven, sometimes he needs 26, right? But if you give him 26, there's that time
He
when he's
didn't
going to
need
break it.
26.
He did. It was like his 10th one. It
Yeah.
was like,
He only had
he was,
17 carries in the game.
yes. But like I was telling you, like up until that point, it was like, okay, 3 yards a carry, 1 yard, 3 yards a carry. He might have been averaging like 3.5 yards a carry. And it was his seventh rush of the game. He took that seventh rush, like 70 yards before somebody touched him. He
Mm-hmm.
had 100 yards already.
Yep.
It happened that fast.
He finished with 17 carries for 176,
176, 176
10,
yards and one touchdown.
10 a pop.
Yeah,
55 and 1.
no.
He had 55 and 1, so that definitely helps the average for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. That's how he's always been a chunk yard kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Not the guy is gonna give you 3, 4 yards a carry. Even though he gets it, he's gonna average that because he's gonna have a bunch of 2 yard runs and then a 10 yard and
Yeah.
a bunch of 2 yard runs and then a 20 yard run. But then yeah, so that play happened. Giants only down seven. Okay, you deal with that. Seven's not that bad. I think I don't know if we came down and got a oh jeez, I just saw the Giants the Knicks play. I don't know if we came down and got a field goal that time or the next drive. But once again, Giants playing good defense. fourth down and two. I'm gonna tell you what, the Giants played such good defense. It was fourth down and like two or three. It might have been something like that. Fourth down and three.
Mm-hmm.
I went to go use the bathroom.
Yep.
I
As you
went
would
to go use
do.
the bathroom because you got to punt the ball here,
Yep.
right? This is fourth and two on the Giant side of the field. You got to punt the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Go use the bathroom. That's what you do. I come back out with a touchdown to AJ Brown for 50 yards, 5 yards. I said, what happened? I was only going pee for a second.
Yep.
They were supposed to punt the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I felt safe. I felt safe. And at that point in time, I think it was 14 nothing. And we came back and we scored. We go kick a field goal, so we're not scoreless. Um, and that was all we scored. And the rest of it was them going for it on fourth down, and Tush pushing us to the end zone a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
Was no pretty much nothing that we could do about that. I think one time we did stop them, or they oh no, we did stop them, but then one of our guys lined up in the neutral zone, so then they got half the distance to the goal, which then they put Tush pushed again to the end zone.
That'll do it every time. All right.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. A lot of that. It was just a bad game. Daniel Jones got benched by Drew Lock, who did absolutely nothing because he's trash. The Giants' offensive line was trash. The trash game altogether. I wish they could throw it away. They need to stop playing at home because they can't do anything at home apparently.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. That's all I have.
Well, lucky for you, the Bears didn't play this week, so I got to spend extra time finding Giants content.
No, I don't need that. I don't need that.
I had. I'm sure you've seen this, but we have to go over this play because Malik Neighbors
Is
after
the
the
one with
game,
Malik
he
is the
said,
one
"I'm
pointing
open.
at
I'm open." So this play, Malik Neighbors does a very nice job of taking like three defenders with him.
Uh-huh. I saw it. I saw it.
Takes a snap. There he goes. He's got two guys there. There's a point where he's going to literally point at Slayton.
Yes.
He is open. He
Uh-huh.
points
Because
at him.
I've got two guys.
And then Daniel Jones
Throws it.
proceeds to throw behind him. I don't even know how this
Yes.
is humanly possible. Like he sees him and he's like, "Oh, you're not 5 seconds ago." I don't understand what happened there. Like
I'll
so,
tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. It's exactly what you think happened.
he missed the
Daniel
throw.
Jones was looking at Neighbors the whole time.
Yeah,
He didn't see Slayton until Neighbors pointed to Slayton.
maybe that's what
And he
neighbors.
said, oh, I gotta get it to him. He
He,
never saw Slayton open. He was looking at Neighbors the whole time. Neighbors told him Slayton was open. And that's why he was late getting Slayton the ball. And that is like you can watch it again. He's eyeballing Neighbors that entire route.
he
He's
also
like he never sees Slayton cut across the middle.
he also unnecessarily leaves a pocket. The pocket is tight, but it's not collapsed on him.
No,
Right? He's there.
he's too scared for that.
Yeah,
He's too scared
like
for that.
this defensive end is blocked nicely, way out of the
Yeah.
pocket, all the way around. He's pushed out. These guys don't even get close. Neighbor says, or DJ says,
He should just step up.
I got to run up 5 yards before I throw this ball, and he doesn't have both feet on the ground. Right? So, like, it's one of those things. He doesn't reset his hips. He doesn't get his feet on the ground. He doesn't make a good throw, and he throws behind Slade. That was tough. That was tough to see. And then
That was after sack number 5, I think.
yeah,
So, so he is effectively, you know, the times when people stand in the pocket to make that throw, they
mm-hmm.
knowing that they might get hit. He's not making that. He's not doing that anymore.
No, he didn't want to. So
No,
Dexter Lawrence, speaking of sacks, has 8 sacks. It's a career high already. He has 8 sacks through 7 games.
he's an
He
absolute
leads the
monster.
NFL from
He's an
from the
absolute
nose
monster.
tackle position, which is insane, insano.
Yeah. No,
All right.
he's an absolute monster. The
So
defense. Okay.
no, go ahead. You're fine.
No, the defense is straight.
Mm-hmm.
Those points look kind of crazy, but the defense has not been playing bad. It's just you need points.
Yeah.
You need points. What's them said 15 ain't gonna win. 17 is not gonna win this league. You know it's definitely not gonna win this league? 3.
3. Yeah. Now I threw the one positive in there because Dexter Lawrence.
Uh-huh.
I have this little bit here. Since the start of 2023, 20 quarterbacks and 16 NHL players have scored more points than Daniel Jones at MetLife Stadium. They must have had an outdoor game there, or a
is
couple at least.
he is booed the
He's
minute
got no
he
points. He hasn't thrown a
touches the
touchdown. Is he running the in? I don't even know. Like at home, it's
so
really bad.
so so last year he only played 3 games at home before he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that really throws the numbers off, right? Because they say since 2003,
2023. Yep.
2023,
Yep.
but he only played 3 home games. He was bad in those home
Yes,
games.
he
One of those
was.
home games
Was the
was the
47
40
nothing?
point.
Yep.
Yep. He was bad in those games,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that number is overblown. He played 3 games last year. He's played 3 games this year.
Yeah. Okay. So
Six games,
I,
no
I think I think
touchdowns.
that's why they
I
threw this.
get
I think that's why they threw the 16 NHL players in there too, because you only get 1 point for a goal, 1 point for an assist. And I guess if you only have 1 point or one goal, you've done you beat Daniel Jones.
it.
Now, I saw the Brian Dable press game
Mhm.
post game press conference, and when I heard this, I said, "Well, I think Daniel Jones has been benched." Is there anything that you look at and say this area we need to get significantly better in? Dayball. The two areas that we need to continue to work on, actually three over and over again, are third down, red zone, and explosive plays. Another game where I don't know what our longest play was. It couldn't have been too long, 14 yards. I don't know what it was, but it is hard to generate points when your longest play is 14 yards or your longest play last week was 15 yards. So you can do that one of two ways: catch and run or push the ball down the field and give our guys a chance. We're continuing to work on that. Those are two areas that we will put a lot of time and effort in, and we're not getting the results equal to the work and the effort that we're putting into it. Those are two areas. I read that and I was like, man, like Daniel Jones just isn't doing anything in a game.
Well, I'll say the deep pass has always been my thing that I told you
Mm-hmm.
from jump. He just doesn't have the touch on the ball anymore.
No.
He used to. He does not have any. He has zero touch
Yeah.
on his deep pass, right? And I don't know if it's happy feet. He's not getting his feet planted. I don't know what it is, but he has zero touch on that ball. So the deep ball is actually looking really bad. Well, the third down, I don't know if that's his fault. I like for the Giants to be second in the league in drop passes. A
Oh
lot of
yeah,
those are drive killers.
for
A
sure.
lot of those are drive killers. So
Always
I
are.
don't know when he's talking about the third down, that to me is an everybody thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a we're too far back on the trains because we're getting offensive holding or penalties us putting us on the down and distance, right? That one doesn't seem like that's singled out toward to Daniel Jones. The deep passes 100% on him has been. Um, and I don't know what they're doing to to get the long plays in there. Looking at the play calling, I watch, it's hard to compare them, but I watch the Baltimore Ravens play, and yes, they have Lamar Jackson, but Zay Flowers doesn't catch a ball that's 5 yards down or more down the field, really. He
Mm-hmm.
gets a lot of screen passes. He takes a lot of screen passes for yards. They move him around a lot. He takes a lot of sweeps. Like Zay Flowers rarely catches a ball 15 yards down the field. Now he can occasionally to catch you slipping, but to me, that's the way I think the Giants need to use Malik Neighbors. They need to get him out there. Just let him touch the ball. Let him do something. Throw him a little screen pass. Throw him a little out. Let him do that versus and like you said, Dable says that could be yards after the carry. It doesn't have to be a deep ball, but there's none of that. There's no slants over the middle that's being taken going further than catch the ball, fall to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of that going on. Um, I like the deep play like everyone else does, but I'm not. You can win without it. You can just methodically march the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Like you don't. The deep plays are fun, but the deep plays to me comes from marching the ball down the field. They're tricking it because if they could just play two deep safety on you, how often are you going to get a deep pass to be thrown if you can't threaten anything up front? If you're not moving the ball on them, what are you going to do? They're just going to stay in their base defense, get pressure with four guys like the Eagles were doing. They weren't sending any exotic blitzes.
Mm-hmm.
You get pressure with four, you drop the seven back, and all your passing lanes are clogged up.
Yeah,
So
the fact that you can't get a play over 15 yards in consecutive games is difficult. It's really tough. The Giants don't really have much of a running game right now. They don't have much of a pass and catch game. They don't have a much of a pass game at all. So,
I'm gonna tell you what I think about the run game. Singletary's got to be coming off the bench now. Tyrone Tracy has shown Junior that he has shown that he has the stuff to
mm-hmm,
be a starting back in the league. And I know Dave Ball loves Singletary. That's
mm-hmm,
his guy.
yeah,
That's his guy. And he coming off an injury. You can't lose the job coming off of an injury, especially to a rookie. But the Giants running game has been better with Tyrone Tracy than it has been with Eric Gray or Devin Singletary.
yeah,
You have to put the guy that's in. If you're willing to bench your starting quarterback, you gotta bench your guy at running back who's averaging 2.8 yards a carry. Like you
mm-hmm,
gotta be willing to bench that guy just the same. So I think that'll help the run game. Um, I just think the Giants got to. I think the Giants got to do be better on third down. That's the thing, and that has a lot to do with making sure you're playing penalty-free football. Which I don't even think penalty-free football exists in the NFL anymore.
no,
There's a penalty pretty much
feels
every
like
time.
every play. Yeah,
Feels like every play. And you can't see something good happen and not be looking for the yellow flag, figuring that it's coming up someplace. So, like I said, that has to be playing penalty-free football, and it has to be playing with just getting moving the chains. And that's if Daniel Jones runs for 6 yards, but every run play is a holding play.
mm-hmm,
I swear, the Giants suck at RPO. They need to stop doing it. I know it's everyone's get. I've watched it go for big plays, but the offensive linemen always think that they're run blocking.
mm-hmm,
So there's always an offensive line ineligible man downfield. I've seen it in two back-to-back weeks. I've seen it go for good plays that's been called back for ineligible receiver downfield
mm.
because he was run blocking and then they take the ball away from him. So either the Giants have to work on that play specifically or just stop
That sounds like
doing
a
it.
sounds like a
Get it
Giants
out.
problem. Yeah, just get out of there. If
Yes,
you can't do
get
it,
it
then
out
get
of
it
the
out.
playbook if you can't do it.
Yeah,
So,
I
but
don't.
yeah, no.
It's tough, and I'm going to take some of the blame because 3 weeks ago I said I think the Giants are closer to being good than they are being terrible, and I was
But
clearly wrong. Everything I'm wrong about, it just comes out constantly, constantly.
well, I'll tell you, like, I think I think playing the two games that we've seen the Giants play, last week, who they played last week? I don't forgot. They got
Seattle.
no, they beat Seattle.
Okay, so that
So it
was
was a
2 weeks ago.
loss. Then we
Yeah.
beat Seattle and the Browns. We lost to all three of our we lost to all three division players so far.
Mm-hmm.
Washington,
Cincinnati.
Dallas, Cincinnati.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it was Cincinnati.
Yep.
That game, once again, we didn't have neighbors, we didn't have Singletary, and we lost. We wound up losing. That game was only two defensive plays that we lost because of.
Yep.
They
17
let,
to 70. That was a close game, but
but once again, you can't do anything if you're only scoring seven
yeah,
points,
if
right?
you can't break 10, you got
You got to get 17. In my opinion,
you gotta
17
break
is the
you gotta get
cutoff.
like to 20. You gotta try to get to 20. That's
Yeah,
just
I think a
tough.
good defense could hold the team to 17, but 17, you have to score.
Yeah.
You have to score at least
Yeah.
17, right?
You think, yeah.
So,
And Cincinnati doesn't
so
have a good defense, so it's tough. I don't know. Like
I think the Giants can get it together. I think they can get it together because they are not as bad. I do think that we're watching Daniel Jones. This is the best he's gonna be.
Yeah,
So
which is sucks.
which which sucks.
Yeah,
So this is at this point in time what we all the flashes that we saw, all the things that as a person who defended Angels that I saw him do, he can no longer do.
yeah.
Whether it's due to the hits he's taken, whether it's due to the criticism that he receives and he just doesn't handle it properly, whatever it is, he just doesn't have it anymore. Can he get it back? I don't know. I don't know.
Unless he does a hard, he's got to do a hard 180. He's only got 10 games left.
Hmm.
Hard
Hmm.
180. I don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see.
But so you that play, but I don't know. Like when I watch the games, I don't know if it's his fault that we're losing. I know it's his fault that we're not winning, right? Like, and to me, there's a difference in
I
that.
could say that for sure. Yeah, he does not
He doesn't
leave.
do enough for us to win.
You guys don't score, right? And he's the
We do,
quarterback.
he's
And
the quarterback,
yeah,
but I can't say that he's the reason. Like, if he was throwing 17 interceptions, you'd go, that's the reason why we're losing, right? But he's not throwing the interceptions. We do. We are second in the league in drop passes. Like I can say that he is not doing enough for us to win, and that is enough to get you lose your job.
oh for sure.
That's
Yeah,
for as the quarterback. That's enough. You
yeah,
don't have to be the one causing us the losses, but you have to be the one that's going to put us in position to win.
yeah.
And you're not. You're not doing that. So if he can, it would take him to. It would take seven miraculous comebacks from behind with him driving down with the ball last second for us to have faith in him.
Yeah.
Because even if he did it seven times in a row, if that eighth time came up, we go, oh, I don't think he's going to do
Mm,
it. I don't think he's got that in him. But
man,
it,
they're 2-5.
yeah,
10 games left.
correct. But I'm hoping this is our easy part of the schedule come up. We got Pittsburgh in tonight. I mean on Sunday night. I don't like that. I don't like that.
No, you got Monday night, wasn't it? Pittsburgh Monday night.
Is it Monday? I thought it was a Sunday
I
night
think it's
game. Is it?
Monday night. So you got Monday night Pittsburgh, prime time Giants. You got the Germany game versus the Panthers.
Panthers. Mhm.
So if there's any equalizer,
Hopefully, if
it's
we're any
traveling to
good,
Germany. Yeah.
if we're any good, yeah.
So yeah, I I have a feeling in about 11 weeks we're gonna be exploring the Giants' options
At
at
quarterback,
quarterback like we're gonna be doing it anyway. I don't think there's
yes.
anything that saves Daniel Jones's job.
No, nothing,
So I don't
nothing.
know if it's gonna be
Not
through the draft. I don't know if it's
not a
gonna be through
playoff
free
run.
agency.
Not a playoff run. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's all coming down to is there a quarterback that the Giants like in the draft? If there is a quarterback, you risk it all. You drive. You do your trade capital. You get what you got.
Get
What you
what you
got.
get.
Get what you get. Whatever you need to do to move up to the position to get the guy that you want, that's what you do. I
Mm,
don't think it's Shador Sanders. I don't know if that's the guy that they want. I wouldn't mind a Shador Sanders. He seems like he's got heart that Daniel Jones doesn't.
yeah, we'll see about him. Like, I'm gonna even like outside of all the Sanders aspect of it, outside of the
Mhm.
Dion and the dancing, flashing your watch in front of people, like swagger that he struts out there. I don't know if he has. I'm not a scout. I don't know if he has NFL
He's
caliber
got NFL
quarterback.
arm talent. He's
He's
got
definitely an athlete.
he's got
Is he a
leadership.
quarterback? Well, yeah, we'll find out. Like if that's the
Yeah,
guy, then we'll see. Like I
and
think I go ahead.
I said I watched him get better every year. That's another
Yes.
thing about it because his competition has improved every year. He went from Jackson State where he was tearing it up.
Mm-hmm.
Then he tried to take that to the Pac-10, uh, Pac-12, Pac-12,
Whatever they are. Yeah.
whatever it was. He went there, started off hot, failed. This year, now he's there in the Big Ten, Big 12,
Yeah.
the,
It's
the
not
other
Big
one,
Ten.
the other
It's
big,
yeah Big 12. I think.
yeah. And he's playing better. He's playing a lot better. They're what they one loss this year, one loss, two
I don't know.
losses to
I
Colorado
haven't been
team.
following too close.
I
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
I
I
am
don't know if
because
he's the guy, but maybe he is. And I'm going to say this. I think Dayball is a good judge of quarterback talent. I think
Mhm.
Dayball. We talked about this 100 times. They just got stuck with Daniel Jones because he was really good for 1 year. So,
Mhm.
and can you win with Dayball? Dayball, can you win with Daniel Jones? Clearly, we just made the playoffs. Womp womp. I think Giants really lack an explosive player. I mean, Neighbors explosive, yes, but Daniel Jones can't give him the ball.
Got to give him the ball.
But
That's
if
why I tell you, you have to give him the ball in other ways. You can't just try
yeah,
to get him the ball 20 yards down the field. Sweeps, short passes, screen passes. You have to get if he's your guy, force feed him the ball, or
yep,
at least do it early in the game. If
yep,
you don't do it late in the game, at least do it early in the game. And I understand he was coming back, so he might have been trying to, but it was a concussion. It wasn't like a physical injury. Physical is in muscle or something that might slow him down physically.
yeah,
Um, but I just didn't see enough of that. I
yeah.
didn't see enough of that.
It would really help them
And
if they had an explosive player out of the backfield. Somebody that could run,
you
somebody that could catch passes.
they had that guy for a few
They
years
did,
and
they
it
did.
wasn't enough.
They let him
Wasn't
go.
enough.
I'm,
Wasn't enough.
I'm gonna tell you what. That I think that's a good segue because we got to talk. Well, now we have to talk about the second best team in the league because the Bears were on bye this week. So we're gonna go.
Because no, no,
We're gonna
no, no.
go
You know
right
who
to the
you know who the
Ravens.
first best team
We're gonna
is.
go to last night's game, the Ravens and the Buccaneers, because I got all sorts of Derrick Henry stats to show. The score is the game was not nearly as close as the score dictated.
That's been every one of their
They
wins.
were up 41-10 in the fourth quarter. Bucks score. They get an onside kick and they score. The Ravens fourth
They didn't
like
care.
they
They
didn't
stopped
care.
caring. They
Yeah.
stopped caring. There's no way they were going to come back. There's no way.
There was no physical way it was going to happen. Lamar Jackson 17 to 22, 281 and 5 touchdowns. Derrick
Mhm.
Henry 15 carries, 169 yards. And a long of 81. I think he's got the longest run of the year and the second longest run of the year because he had that 87 yarder for the touchdown, right?
They did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched a good chunk of it.
Did you see? Wow, they kept showing. I don't think I had it on mute because I was doing another podcast. I had it on mute, but they kept showing him on the sideline like he was unhappy. Like I
Who?
don't. Derrick Henry earlier in the
Oh,
game,
no,
like,
I don't think.
oh, Derek's not getting the ball. He's
Oh,
not get like he was just sitting there and he was just like this.
yeah. Just sitting
He
there.
didn't look unhappy. He was just sitting there like it'll happen.
Yeah, they're trying.
Because they didn't feed him the ball early in the game. I think Justice Hill had a touchdown before he did. Lamar had a rushing touchdown, I think, before he did. Like so early in the
Yeah, Derrick Henry
game,
didn't get in the
they
end zone, but he's
yeah. So
15
early in
carries,
the game, they had to be
169
feeding
yards.
him,
Yeah. He only had
and
15
I think
carries.
yeah, and then one of them was 81 yards. So it was like I think they were trying to say that maybe he wasn't being featured enough, but in that offense, it's gonna happen. They're going to slow the game down at one point in time, and they can't even slow the game down because he runs for 80 yards. Like,
They can't
could you
slow it down.
imagine trying to run the ball and then you just getting touchdowns, or you can't? They can't slow the game down.
Derrick Henry did get in the end zone on a pass, right? He caught one for
Yeah, he
13
got
yards
him
on the
pass. He caught a pass.
right.
Mhm.
The Baltimore Ravens only ran 54 plays, 22 passes, 30 runs, 2 sacks. On the flip side, the Baker Mayfields, they ran 78 plays and
Mhm.
and didn't have as many yards, right? So Lamar Jackson
They could
is unstoppable. Derrick Henry
pretty
is
much.
unstoppable.
Mhm.
How is this
And
even? I said last week, I don't think it's fair. I still don't think it's fair. Baker Mayfield loses both of his weapons. Godwin is out for who knows how long.
Yeah.
His
Dislocated ankle.
foot was in the wrong direction. Did you see a
I did
picture of
not.
it?
I did not see a
There was a
picture of
foot
it.
this way and a foot this way, right? They were going in opposite
Oh,
directions. ESPN would not show the replay.
no, they would not.
It was very gross. And then Mike Evans is out until after at
Yeah,
least week 11 with a hamstring. Now
his
here,
hammy was sore already, and then they
yeah.
landed on it.
So you lose your two weapons. Baker, I think Tampa's done now. But Derrick Henry, here's how he ranks this season: in rushes, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, yards per rush, rushing first downs, longest rush, scrimmage yards, and scrimmage touchdowns. You ready? First
First.
in all of them. First in rushes, first in rush yards, first in rushing touchdowns. Now, I was dumb. I said 3 weeks ago, we'll give him like 900 yards. We'll call it conservative. I think he's almost had 900 yards since then in 3 weeks. What the hell, man? The guy is unstoppable. He's on pace. Now he's on pace for 21-20. 21-20.
barring barring injury, I don't see how he doesn't get it.
I don't know
That's
how he
the
doesn't
crazy
either.
part. It that might be short. That might be shorting him again. Oh, sorry to interrupt. I hear in the background. I'm hearing the Boston Garden erupting because the Celtics are 1 3-pointer away from breaking the record for most 3 pointers in a game. They're
Oh
losing their
no.
minds. They're just hoisting up threes right
And they're just
now.
falling. It's
They're
like
missing.
it's like playing.
They need. They hadn't been missing all game. They need one more three for it to happen, and they haven't hit one yet.
They're
So
forcing it. They're forcing it. So back on Derrick Henry, I saw this today. Jordan Schultz, NFL reporter, text from a GM whose team briefly considered signing Derrick Henry last offseason. We probably should have taken a longer look at him. Now, this coming from Jerry Jones, R.E. Derrick Henry. I don't know if he would be having a career year in our situation. Derrick Henry didn't fit because of managing the salary cap.
it's your job.
That's 100% on Jerry Jones.
That's your job, right? And you could have managed your salary cap had you been good at your
Managing
job.
the salary cap with your three big signings that you need to take care of. Yep, so that's Jerry Jones. But he says, I don't know if he'd be having the year that he would be having with us because we suck. And that's what he should have finished this sentence with. But he didn't. But it's true. Oh, my goodness.
But that's the thing about it. Like, Derrick Henry's always been good.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it, I think, last week. He's always been good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Ravens' offensive line are world beaters. I don't think they're the most amazing offensive line that the NFL has seen. They're good, but they're not great. I think the talent of Lamar Jackson. How many times have you seen the play breakdown, them miss a block, and Lamar's running for his life, and then just throws a 60-yard
I don't think
touchdown?
Lamar ever runs for his life. Lamar
It's all
casually
controlled running.
he gallops to the left, stiff arms the
Stiff
dude,
arm someone to the ground.
picks up a guy by his shirt and throws him in the air like a rag doll, and then throws it 60 yards. He never runs for his life.
But I mean, but just like I don't think that the offensive line is that great, right? I think what happens is Derrick Henry is fortunate enough to be, like I said, going up against the boxes that aren't stacked against them because they can't.
Yeah.
They've got it caught, and I don't for Jerry Jones to say that he doesn't understand the team that he has and what you could do with a guy like Derrick Henry and a quarterback like Dak Prescott.
No kidding.
Right? Like, so if he has a quarterback, just imagine CeeDee Lamb constantly having one-on-one coverage because of safeties down in the box having to defend Derrick Henry.
Worry about Derrick Henry.
One of them is going to have an amazing year, and then defense are going to get tired of CeeDee Lamb doing it. So there's going to be times where he has a favorable matchup. And that's when he breaks off 81-yard
The
touchdowns. That's
Cowboys,
when it happens.
the Cowboys are never, have not once this season been a threat to run the ball,
No,
and therefore you don't even have to
it's
defend
don't
against it.
exactly. So it's putting pressure on his wide receivers and making everyone look bad.
Yes.
So he it's I don't understand why he's the GM if he can't understand basic concepts of football. Like he can't understand the management, the financial management side of being a GM.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't understand the player personnel side of being a GM. Just stop being a GM and just be an owner. Just and
Let
I don't want to talk about them anymore. They
nope.
were in a bye week as well. This
So
is all about supposed to be about Derrick Henry.
it is about Derrick Henry. But now I think we can run out of time on Derrick Henry. We got to move on to another game that happened this week. Another big game. It was the Vikings and the
Oh,
Lions.
are you going to talk about that offensive lineman?
Which one?
Have you seen the play?
I
I call it the play.
I'm pretty sure I have.
Offensive lineman blocks two people on one play.
Oh,
That one?
I did see that play.
It's probably the best offensive line play I've ever seen.
Yes.
That's what I was hoping
That
we
was
talked
Carousel.
about.
That was Carousel. I can't remember. I think that's. I don't know how to spell his name.
And this is why Sam Darnold is at least the comeback player of the year, or because
Christian
that offensive
Darisaw.
line, that offensive line keeps his jersey clean all day. That's a top offensive line in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's amazing. Christian Darisaw. That's what it is. I don't know why I thought it was Christian Darisaw.
I have never seen one man take on the stunt by himself.
Well, let's watch it again.
I have never seen this.
This is he gets the guy
Watch
going
70
inside and
block.
then says,
Oh,
"Oh no, I'm going
stunner!
to get you too." He does a spin to his right and catches the stunt coming back around. It is yeah.
And the thing about it is he doesn't push him in the back. Watch
Nope.
how he lines his squares his shoulders back up
Yep.
and just
Get,
completely mauls this
gets right in front
guy
of him. Gets right in
right in
front of him.
front of him.
Yes.
I for a team for a fan of me, I'm a fan of the Giants. And last year, if you did the stunt on the Giants, it was a sack. Just
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed. Just stunt. Oh, we don't know who to block now. That man said, "Okay, now I've got you until I push you out of the way, and when your new guy comes in, I'm going to get him out of the way as well." It
Mm-hmm.
was a, it was an all-star play on that I saw, and it was like that was great.
It
That
was
was
nuts.
really good offensive line
It
play.
was nuts. Now, what was also nuts was Jared Goff. I got to pull up the numbers. Somebody broke down the stats because I said last week, I think Jared Goff is a guy that if you get after him, like the Bears did last year, he tends to just kind of like fall
So he's going
apart.
to miss four passes because he doesn't miss many passes.
I
If he
got to
throws the ball, it's a chance that it's going to be connection.
I got to find the
Connecting.
Goff stats because the Goff stats under pressure for this game were insane. The Lions go to Minnesota and just kind of dealt it to the Vikings. It was a really good game. The Vikings tried to come back in the end. Uh, Man, missed some third down conversions that really killed him. Uh, and what's his face was good. I thought Darnold was fine. He
Yeah,
wasn't great, but he
the
was
game was
fine.
close.
Game was
It was
close.
a
Yeah, it was
field goal.
the fourth quarter is when it. Yeah, I mean it was close in the end, but they were down two scores like a good chunk of the fourth quarter, right? So I just got to find those Goff numbers because it's bonkers. Got to find the Goff numbers. I had it saved. What did I do with them? Jared Goff. God, it's got to be here. I had so many dang tweets. I need to open up like 50 windows and do it that way. Um, you'd think if I did a search for Goff, I'd find it, and I haven't. Control F. Come on, you mother. Uh, it was silly. I'm just gonna do it here then. Jesus Christ. Goff
What's going on? Got
pressure.
this hotel internet, and it is
Oh no.
what they call trash. Well,
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you said hello like I lost,
No,
like
I
you
said,
lost
"Oh
me.
no," because I knocked my camera over. Uh, oh, because he was just unbelievable.
There was a
Okay, here we go. I
there's,
got it. Found it. I liked it, and I still couldn't find it for some reason. Flores ended up blitzing Goff on 58% of his dropbacks. 58%.
yeah,
He,
Flores, he's a blitzer. No, you said Brian Flores. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Goff went 14 for 16 for 149 yards and a touchdown. That's 9.3 a yard, an attempt with a 126.3 rating. On the non-blitz dropbacks, he went 8 for 9 for 131 yards and a touchdown.
If he throws the ball, it's pretty much going to his receiver.
He got pressured 41% of the time this last week, which was fourth highest in the week, and he dismantled the Vikings.
He's cool, calm, and collective. He's always been that. He's always been accurate. He's just never been uh, the 300-yard guy, the four
Yeah, he was.
touchdown
Yeah,
guy.
when he was with the
I'm talking
Rams, he
about.
was.
Well,
Remember, he had that
yeah.
500-yard game against the Chiefs. They went to the dang Super Bowl that year.
I kind of like golf.
I
Kind of
do
like golf.
too. I hate that he's
Kind of
on
like
the
golf.
Lions. I hate that he turned out to be good. Right? When they traded him, I was like, all right, them Lions are going to suck some more. They'll have another good quarterback, but can't do anything around him. And guess what? They did. Now
They-
yeah, the Vikings end up losing their first game of the season, which brings them to 5-1 and drops them to second place in the division because the Lions are
to
5-1
5-1,
with the
but they got the
tiebreaker
win.
over the Vikings. The dang Packers win again this week, so they're 5-2. The Bears on a bye at 4-2 are in last place in the division. I don't
This,
understand how that works, but here's where we are.
it's everyone. Somebody was like, "Man, Jordan Love guy is really good." I'm like, when I watch him, I don't see really good,
No,
but they win, and he helps them win. He does help them win.
Jordan Love has played only 5 games so far this season. He
Mhm.
leads the league in interceptions.
Yeah, this gunslinger.
He's Brett
They've
Favre,
had.
man. It's the return of Brett Favre, and I hate it,
Yes.
boy.
I'm
I
gonna say
just
that doesn't seem like a bad thing.
no, it's a
The
terrible
return
thing.
of
It's a terrible thing. But I found this because I happen to like a Vikings tweet about something, and now I get Vikings news in my timeline, and including this. I'm not from some Minnesota podcast. The Vikings, and I'm doing this just to rile you up. The Vikings should trade their 2025 first, their 2026 first, and a 2026 third for nose tackle Dexter Lawrence.
See, all right. Sure. I will let you know something about Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
Uh, you do know he has a giant New York Giants tattoo on his arm,
Yep.
right?
That's fine.
And they have paid that man. If they did that, which the Giants have been known to trade their their nose tackle to the Vikings. We did it with Dalvin Tomlinson. We did it with there was another one in there. We've taken nose tackles and given them to the Minnesota Vikings, so I can see where that history exists. The Giants ever gave up Dexter Lawrence to be the end of everything. We don't have a player anymore that you can look to and go, that's a giant. When you lost that when you got rid of Saquon Barkley. Um, they got to keep Dexter Lawrence. They paid him a lot of money. You got to keep him. I don't care unless he wants to leave. If he wants to leave, then oblige the man. I'm
Yeah.
a fan. I'm a fan of that as well. If the guy is like, I want to stay, you keep him. If he's like, I think I want to win, let him go someplace else. He's done enough for you. You're wasting some of his best prime years. But no, you will not get Dexter Lawrence from us. Out of my cold dead hands, you will not get Dexter Lawrence. He's the only thing we have.
Now that's a big package though. 2025
I don't
first,
care. I
2026 first.
don't care. The man has a Giants tattoo on his arm, and he did not grow up a Giants fan. He did not grow up a Giants fan. He was drafted by the Giants. I guess they showed him love, and he went out and tatted the New York Giants logo on his arm. I said, all right, he's a for lifer. He's one of those
Mm-hmm.
guys that's going to stay on the team, even if they don't win a championship. He's coming back. Doesn't make a difference. He's one of those guys.
Any other games you want to dive in on?
Oh man, there was some decent games.
I'll just run
The
down the list.
Arizona the Arizona Cardinals beating.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about that because your boy, I saw that the Chargers in the last 3 years have lost the most games by less than three, like three or fewer points,
Uh huh.
or one score games. Nine. Like the next closest one was seven, I think, at the Broncos. Um, and Herbert had another 350-yard game, no tutties.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you what. Did you
And
watch?
they
Did you
lost.
watch that game?
No, why would I watch that game? I needed John Connor. I needed John Connor to win, right? Like I said, I needed him for the guillotine league. So after that, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Just, the numbers was going up. I was good to go.
Herbert was good yesterday.
Oh, he's
Herbert
always good.
Herbert's offense, his receivers
Oh,
are
I did watch the game.
terrible.
Oh, he did fumble that ball on the 1 yard line.
And it kicked it and then kicked it through the
They
end zone.
kicked it. Well, he didn't. They picked. I thought they recovered it.
No, he kicked it out of bounds through the end zone.
Yeah.
Which the way to prevent that is don't fumble at the end zone. He dropped it right in that dude's hands. The dude said,
Yeah.
"Nice, I'm gonna score," and then he proceeded to just drop it. I don't even know what happened. I don't if it was if it was knocked out by a fist. It was a peanut punch, and then I think Peanut Tillman deserves $5 or whatever. I think every time they say peanut punch on TV, he deserves some money. Uh, but I'm gonna tell you what, that that receiving core that they have, it's Ladd McConkey and some dudes. I don't even know who those dudes are. And Ladd McConkey's fine. He's a rookie. He's doing okay for him. But they do not have anyone to throw to, and they were just bouncing
Oh,
off hands all night.
I don't know if you remember when we had this discussion
Yeah.
during the draft of why they should have been the one to draft Malik Neighbors
But now here's the thing:
or Robert Dudesay.
it is. Would it be easier for the Chargers to trade for a wide receiver or a starting right tackle?
The starting right tackle, is he still playing? Is he injured?
But I don't know if he's injured or not.
Oh,
But if you're in this position right now, is it easier to go out and get a receiver, or is it easier to go out and get a starting right tackle?
go on and get who?
A receiver.
You're not gonna. You're not gonna get it. It's for the answer. If you want the answer is always gonna be wide receiver
Yes,
because no
exactly.
one's giving up a starting
Exactly.
right tackle.
Because if you
It's
get a
not
stud right
happening.
tackle, you get a stud right tackle, and he's there for life, right? It
But you
just
get a stud right tackle, your quarterback has 325 yards, and your wide receiver that you just got off the bargain basement drops it in the end zone, and you lose 9 games,
yeah,
one
it
score
just
games.
I'm gonna tell you what, Herbert is not a problem on that team. It's never Herbert's
He's
never been the problem on that team.
he's okay. So once again, I said this earlier. I said he is not the cause of them losing. He's not winning games for them. He's
Yeah.
also not the
Okay.
he
So
also he's also the cause, the reason why they're close. He's all that.
yeah.
But they don't win.
Yeah.
They don't
Uh huh.
win.
Okay.
And like we said last year, we pinpointed on the quarterback, on the coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's had multiple coaches on that team that they've all been like the same. Okay, well, we're getting close, but we're not winning. Team quarterback is fine. Everything is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be the coach. Get rid of the coach.
Well, in
All
in
right,
in,
new
def- in
coach
defense
comes
of that
in.
decision, their coach was not very good. Their coach was pretty terrible.
Which one?
The last one they had, I can't remember what his name is. He was
Yeah, that.
the
Mhm.
defensive minded coach that comes in there, and then they have historically the worst
That,
point giving up defense for 3 straight years. Right?
that was rough.
That's not Herbert.
It's not.
Herbert, if
Not.
Herbert gets you 30 and you give up 40 every game, there's nothing you can do about it.
Okay. So in that he had two good wide receivers in that case.
That's not Herbert's
The
fault.
offense, the offense was good.
Yeah,
Defense is really, really bad.
really,
So
really
what
bad.
do you do? So what do you do? You go out and go get basically a defensive coach in Harborough. He's
He's
that's kind of he's a generalist coach. I
he's a
think
former
I would say.
quarterback.
Yeah. He's- but I think of him when the San Francisco team that he was coaching,
Hmm.
and they felt like they were defensive teams, right? That's
They
how
always
I
are, yeah.
felt. So, and now you got rid of all of his wide receivers.
Hmm.
You got rid of all of them.
Yeah.
And you had a chance to get a number one, a legit number one.
Hmm.
You got to do that. I
I,
understand the right tackle. He was putting up 300 yards without the right
you got
tackle.
to build the
He
trenches,
was,
though. That's Harbaugh. That's Harbaugh's mo right there, man. You can't
but
stop what that is. And then they bring in like J.K. Dobbins and J.K. Simmons or whoever the other uh, running backs
running back
are.
is.
Yeah,
But that's what I'm just saying. Like you're talking about Austin Eckler gone, Mike Williams gone, Keenan Allen gone.
hmm
That's three very productive guys that've
I'm.
been there his entire career.
Yep. Now I'm going to tell you what Austin Eckler is uh,
A backup
real
touchdown
close to
machine.
being out of the league. I think.
Yeah.
Mike Williams is Aaron Rodgers can't win with him, and then Keenan Allen's fine for the Bears, right? Like, and that was a ton of salary. Like I get the moves, and I get why you take Alt. I get all that stuff, and then they got McConkey in the second, who is a good, nice slot receiver, right? He's going to turn out to be fine.
we
But
can't we
but
can't talk bad about the receivers and then because they've tried. They got
mhm,
Quentin Johnson the year before that.
okay.
So they're trying to get those
Oh,
young wide
and
receivers
and
in
I'm
it,
going
but they had a chance at
Quentin Johnson
studs.
was 100% the wrong pick when they took him. I said it then. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. That man has stone hands, and he just contributes to all of the stone hands that the Chargers are out there. And Will Disley, Bob Smoogabaum. Like I don't know who any like these are either
Exactly.
they're people out of the league. They are AI generated names, or like I don't know who these people are, but you can guarantee that Herbert will hit them on the hands for a dropped pass every time.
So do you think that Herbert needed a right tackle
Yeah,
or needed a wide
because
receiver?
every quarterback needs the right tackle.
He was doing it without it.
Did
He
did
wasn't doing it
Daniel
with
Jones need a right tackle
he needs all the
or
tackles.
a wide receiver?
He need- ugh. He needed both.
Yeah,
but but
so did Herbert. And the Chargers went with the option of building the
but wait,
trenches
no, no.
first.
Wait, no. But Daniel Jones gets sacked the most in the league by not having a right tackle.
Oh,
He puts up 180 yards a
okay.
game with not having a right tackle. Conversely,
Herbert puts up 300 a game
Herbert is
without a
putting
right
up
tackle.
300 a game without a right tackle.
But he got his
But
ribs
he
broken.
also has
He's had his ribs broken
yes,
several times, and he's
yes,
played with those broken ribs.
yes.
You
One game
will.
I thought he was out for a while.
I
I
don't
thought he
think
was out for a while.
I don't
He
think there's a
wasn't.
single thing that you can do short of we find out that Justin Herbert is like smuggling children out of this country or something like that. That you're gonna make me talk bad about that man because I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't think it's gonna happen.
He is a very, and that's the thing. I don't want you to think that he's not a
I
very good
don't
quarterback. I think
there's
he's a
nothing you're gonna
very
make
good
me think
quarterback.
that yeah, he's great.
I think he's a very good quarterback, but I want winners. I want winners.
Winning in the NFL is a team sport, and no better displayed than what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing this year. That team is set, what, 6-0 or 7-0? Whatever they are, there's something in
Whatever. Oh,
O.
the O. An O. Their
Okay.
defense is solid. Their defense is solid, and Mahomes could throw two, three interceptions, and it doesn't matter.
Kansas
The
City
defense.
Chiefs are 6-0. 6-0,
Do you
right?
know what Mahomes doesn't do? He doesn't throw bad interception,
Mahomes has 1,389 yards, 6 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
but he doesn't throw bad interceptions. And like a bad interception is Daniel Jones throwing it to the left the linebacker who's right there becomes a pick six. If 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 what's his name throws an interception, it might as well have just been a punt. Like he doesn't throw one that's like right over the middle, gets tipped in the it may get tipped, but it's usually 30 yards down the field. They make it look it's a change of possession for sure. But it's usually not a change of possession that's leading immediately to 7 points. And that could be the defense that's doing it, but it rarely feels like his interceptions ruin the game.
But he's not throwing touchdowns,
But he's not throwing touchdowns.
right? The team just wins. They constantly win. That's all they do.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like they haven't been playing anybody.
They just beat the 49ers in San Francisco.
You mean the 49ers where Debo Samuels was not feeling well? Brandon Ayuk is done for the year
Tore every tendon
towards
in his leg. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
MCL. Tore every tendon in his leg. They don't have their number one running back. Trent Williams was ejected from the game.
Still beat them. I don't care.
They
I mean,
definitely
that's not
did.
Kansas City's fault that San Francisco is falling apart.
They,
They
they,
just beat whoever they play. Like they only
they
play their
do.
schedule, and they play a first place team schedule every year because they're
They
always first
do.
place in their damn division.
They do.
Always. Now, I don't even want to talk about that game because it kind of sucked, in all honesty. And I
It
don't
wasn't a
want.
good game.
I don't really want to talk about any more games. We got to talk about what's coming up. But we'll just run on the line. Broncos 33, the Saints 10. Bo Nix was not particularly good.
It's not
They
really good.
won 33-10. Great. Like, oh god, and that team is 4-3. Somehow. That's the biggest mystery in football is the Broncos being 4-3. And I don't care if you're like,
Mhm.
it's good disciplined football or that. No, it is not good football. The Saints are bad. And the Saints are so
Saints are not
bad,
good.
they're done. They're 2-5, and if they win 5 games this year, it is a moral victory.
Uh-huh.
The
I
Jaguars
understand how that feels.
the Jaguars and the Patriots played in London.
Oh my God.
The Patriots got out to a 10
Hold
nothing
on.
lead and lost 32-16. That's all I need to know.
It got ugly. It got ugly.
The Seahawks go to Atlanta and destroy the Falcons 34-14. Just embarrassing.
Kirko Chains did not come to play.
No, he did not.
That was Kirk Cousins who was playing. He left the chains at home.
Yeah, he did.
Bring the chains with you when you come out, Kirk.
Geno Smith and DK Metcalf came to play. And then Jackson Smith and Jigba got me a point for throwing a ball 35 yards down the line. Titans go to the Bills. Bills win easily.
Mhm.
Titans are without Will Levis for several weeks because apparently he hurt himself 2 weeks ago. Weird. But Amari Cooper comes in. He caught a touchdown. You see Amari Cooper's touchdown? They're like,
I
Amari
did
Cooper
see
doesn't even know
Morris
what play
Cooper's
he's running
touchdown.
because they audibled, and he's like, and Khalil Shakir said, just run up there. And he
No, it
ran
was
in the middle of the end
Keon
zone.
Coleman. Keon Coleman told him to
Keon
play.
Coleman, yeah. So, yeah,
Yeah. So I have him in a fantasy league, and somebody was like, "You gonna start him this week? He doesn't even know the playbook." I said, "He knows how to get open,
yeah.
and Allen knows how to find open players. That's all I need.
I'll
That's all
tell
he
you
needs
what,
to
Allen
do."
knows how to throw a football to people, and he's doing a very good job of it this year.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals beat the Browns
Oh, oh, oh!
21 to
That that
14.
that Achilles just popped.
Watson's Achilles, it did pop, and you could see his calf like,
Yes, just like, oh, like oh,
I'm
I was
like,
like, oh,
oh boy, you could almost see the tendon snapping in your mind. So
hmm
he's done for at least 10, 12
A
months.
year and a half,
Yeah, he's done for
football year and a half.
a good long time.
Mhm.
He's played a total of 17 games in 3 years on his fully guaranteed contract, and it's
Fully good.
all been historically bad. And the Browns are still stuck with him for 2 more years, and each year he's a $70 million cap hit.
They'll
Cha-ching!
draft they're a team drafting a quarterback next year as well.
But you can't get rid of Watson. There's nothing you can do. You're
You
stuck.
can't. But for 2 years,
Yeah,
this year and next year,
and
which he will
and then he's
probably not be
still
playing.
a $30 million dead cap hit the year he's not
You
on
will
the team.
take that.
Yeah. Oh,
You will take that.
compared to 70, yes.
So this year they're going to draft a quarterback who will probably start next year, and Watson won't see the field again.
Yeah.
He will sit on the bench for that last bit of his contract, and then they will terminate that contract, and we won't have to hear from him again because he will not be getting another contract.
No one will pay him to play anymore. And if he was smart, he would just ride off into the sunset with his $250 million.
Yes, correct,
All right,
correct.
I'm gonna read you a quarterback line from this week, and I want you to guess which quarterback it was. 10 of 21, 86 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 4 sacks.
Oh, I was gonna say Aaron Rodgers, but he threw picks, so I don't think it was Aaron Rodgers.
Hmm. Does it help you that
86
if I told you this
yards,
guy also ran for 19 yards?
6 yards.
Yep,
All he threw for
that's all he threw for. No touchdowns, no picks.
Daniel Jones.
Is C.J.
Huh?
Stroud losing to the
Mm.
Packers? Jordan Love, 223 touchdowns, two picks, Daniel Jones style. Did you see the one pick that he threw? He was literally falling backwards, both feet off the ground, and just chucked it straight into the air. What are you doing? Just take the sack.
I'm winning games, sir. That's how you win.
They won 24 to
Winners,
22
winners win.
on a game-winning field goal. I refused to watch the game. I said, "Oh, look, the Texans are up by 1 with a minute left. They're kicking off to the Packers." I'm like, I tried not to watch it. I pulled it up. I pulled up the live cast on ESPN, and I'm like, "Oh, they're at the 50." I'm like, "Oh, they're at the 40. Oh, they're at the 30. Come on, come on. What are we doing?"
Winners win.
I hate the Packers, and they're the possibly, if not the best coach team in football, a top three coach team in football, and it makes me sick to my stomach every week. Now I'm going to read you another quarterback line. This quarterback won 10 of 24, 129 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, no sacks.
That's Bo Nix.
That's Anthony Richardson for the Colts.
Oh, oh,
10 of 20 flipping 4 against the Dolphins.
they're bad. The Dolphins are really
The
bad.
Dolphins defense is terrible. The Colts won 16 to 10.
So I was someone said Anthony Richardson should still be in college right now.
Yes.
Um, he is learning on the job.
Yes.
That is what he's doing.
And
It's
we'll see if he ever evolves into anything. I hope he does. The dude's a physical freak, right?
mhm.
But 10 of 24 for 129, that's like 40%. That's not good.
It's not good, but a win is good.
Oh, wait,
Winners win. Winners win.
they won because Snoop Huntley was a starting quarterback, and then he got hurt, and then Tim Boyle was the replacement quarterback after that.
It was bad.
Tim
But
Boyle.
but Huntley wasn't doing anything either. I was
No,
watching that game. Huntley was not doing
he threw a
anything.
touchdown. That team is not good. Tua is supposedly starting this
Who was
week,
back this week? Yeah.
and he's not going to wear one of those special helmets either.
Yeah, he said that too nonchalantly, and I
It's a
kind of looked at
personal
him with
choice.
I kind of looked at him with a little disdain
Yeah,
because
like
why?
he could be like a trailblazer. He could be like a stigma eraser for that.
The, the thing about it is why? Like you're going to say it's a personal choice, but it's just you think it looks dumb.
Hmm.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Because if somebody says, just put this on, is a chance that it'll help you do it.
Yeah.
It does not add any extra weight to you that I know of.
Hmm.
It's not super uncomfortable. I doubt. I don't know, but I just don't see. Besides, it looks stupid, and my friends are gonna make fun of me. I don't see
No one
a
makes fun of you
reason
the
to
moment you
not
start
do it.
winning. The moment you start winning, you could be out there with your dick out and they don't
But
care.
it doesn't even matter if we win or we
Oh, I
lose
know.
at this point with him. It's about his health. And I would do whatever it takes to continue to be healthy. That's why
A
I can't get
hundred percent, 100%. But if the reason is he's worried about people saying he's soft or
yes.
whatever, no one was going to say you're soft when you're throwing touchdowns 60 yards downfield to Tyreek and Waddle. No one's going to care. But right now,
No.
the Dolphins season is done. They're done, right? There's no way they come back from 2-5.
Mm, the division's really bad.
Or
The
I'm sorry, they're
Patriots and
two
the
and
Jets
four,
don't look good.
but
The
they're
Patriots and the Jets are not very good. The Bills, what, 4 wins?
they yeah, the Bills are at 5 wins. They're 5-2.
Oh, it's tough now.
They're two.
But
They're two
still,
and four. The Dolphins would have to win 7 of their final 11, probably to get the 9 wins. And I don't know if that's enough. We did this last week. I just don't see it being enough. But we'll see. Tua comes back. Who knows? On to another fun game. Boy, I like doing this. I'm going to give you another quarterback line.
I've got
Uh,
them all wrong so far.
15 of 34 for 154 yards, 3 interceptions, and 2 sacks. This is in a losing cause.
I hope I say they won with 3 interceptions.
No, he didn't throw any touchdowns. They didn't score any touchdowns as a team, as a matter of fact. Their kicker had 5 field goals. 5 of 5.
Field goal.
It was Gardner Minshew, who had to go in for Aiden O'Connell, who broke his ribs. And then they put it, and he was 6 of 10 for 52 yards. And then they bring in Gardner Minshew, and that's what he does. The Rams beat the Raiders 20-15. The Rams season is essentially done. They're 2-4, and they're shopping Cooper Kupp. If you are a team on the cusp, do you go for the oft injured Kupp?
I will tell you who I think someone needs to reach out to DeAndre Hopkins. He is stuck in a
Yes.
black hole. And he needs some help. He needs maybe there's no help. Maybe nothing truly can escape the black hole that is the Tennessee Titans. But
I mean, they have Calvin
he
Ridley too. They went out and signed Calvin Ridley in the offseason as to be the big complimentary piece, and they still have what's his face that they drafted after they traded AJ Brown in the first round. What was his name? Doesn't matter. I can't think what it is.
can you look up DeAndre Hopkins numbers? I
Sure.
think I saw it. I can't remember. There was a wide receiver, and I'm not sure who it was, who had 2 receptions for -4 yards. What's his stat line on the day?
Well, D Hop had 1 reception for -2 and a
Maybe it was
fumble
him.
and a fumble.
Maybe it was him. Maybe it was him that I was looking at.
He's having a
Like
rough year.
he's having a really rough year. And if I'm somebody, you gotta get him out that black hole that is the Titans. They just
He is historically one of the best wide receivers ever.
yes. And for this to be the way if his career ends, it would be horrible. Please, someone take him, get him out of there.
Next game, I have to show you a clip because it's amazing. And I
Uh-oh.
want you to tell me how there's any way Bryce Young can be worse than this.
That's who it was. Bryce Young
For
stats.
Carolina.
Did you
Dalton
see
on the
that's
move.
the stats I was talking about? Thank you for reminding me.
Andy Dalton is being pressured. He rolls out. He throws a pick directly to the defensive lineman, like right into his gut.
Tried to throw it to his own man. He threw it to the other team.
And then it turns into
Intercepted
a
by Fowler. And he's going to go.
Pick 6.
That's what I was telling you. You'll see what. Okay, it wasn't Hopkins. I knew Hopkins was bad. It was Bryce Young's stats. Two
Bryce Young
pass
was
complete,
for
completed passes,
-4
two
yards.
for two for -4 yards.
He was 2 for 2 for -4 yards, no sacks taken. So that means all of his passes went backwards. But they weren't thrown backwards because that's a pitch. So he had to throw them forwards, and then they still went backwards.
Exactly.
Or they're both screens. They both lost 2 yards. I don't know what happened, but he came in. Andy
Yeah.
Dalton, 11 for 16, 93 yards, two picks, 2 sacks. They're like, well, this isn't working. We're getting blown out 40-7. Bring in Bryce, 2 for 2,
Oh
negative
shit.
4 yards.
Oh shit. Uh, and Dan Canales said that Andy Dalton is my
He still
quarterback.
believes 100%. So Bryce Young, they must have
He's
zero
showing them
faith
nothing.
in
He's
Bryce Young.
showing them nothing in practice.
Yeah, like we can't win with him. So I feel like he's going to be Matt Rosen in this offseason. He's going to get traded.
Josh
Josh Rosen,
Rosen,
yeah. He's going to get traded. The Washington Commanders, Jane
they can't
Daniels,
trade him.
well, they're going to do something with him because
They
he's
got to keep him.
for what?
Trade him for what? And then go
I
back
know.
into the draft and get another
You might as
quarterback?
well, yes. That's all you have to do. That's all you can do. They're going to have to Arizona Cardinals this and then hope the Kyler Murray because they're going to end up with the first pick in the draft. They are that bad. They're that bad. The Washington Commanders, Jane Daniels went out. He only threw 2 passes. He ran 3 times, and instead of going out of bounds, he decided to cut it back in towards the hashes, and he got crushed. And that is what happens to Jane Daniels. And now he is week to week with a rib injury, and he might not play this week. And I'm robbing me of watching Caleb Williams beat the Commanders with Jane Daniels. Now I got to watch Caleb Williams beat the Commanders with Marcus Mariota, another Heisman winner, former top of the draft pick. I don't know if he was the first round, if it's number 1 or number 3, but he was a Heisman winner, so they just had to beat him with Mariota. But Mariota went out there and made the Panthers look terrible. He threw for 205
No
yards
one
and 2
makes the
touchdowns.
Panthers. No one makes the Panthers look terrible.
Okay,
They just are.
They looked
They
worse.
just are.
They were absolutely awful. Just absolutely awful. And if you are the Panthers, you got to think long and hard if your existence matters anymore in the NFL. Like, should you dissolve? Possibly, yes.
They've
Yes.
been a farm team to multiple. They've been a farm
For the
system to
Bears.
multiple. Bears, Giants have Burns who's playing well. C-Mac is on.
Yep.
They've been a farm system.
They've
to
had
some
good
really
players,
good
and they've dished them all off. All right, the only game we haven't talked about was the Aaron
That's-
Rodgerses and the Russ Wilsons. Now I'm gonna tell you what, that first half was not looking good for Team Russ. I was
It
like,
was not.
oh, he threw. Do you see that screen pass they threw? They threw like 4 yards to the left and 6 yards short. It was a screen pass, and like, what was priceless about this? Whenever Russ did something bad in the first half, they immediately cut to either Justin Fields or Mike Tomlinson to see what
Mike Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin to see what their reaction was. And Russ throws it right in the dirt, and they go to Tomlin. He's just like chewing on his teeth. He's like, he had nothing in his mouth, maybe his tongue. He's chewing, eating the skin off the side of it.
Maybe his tongue.
Yeah. He was upset. And then it just like it happened. Like Russ flipped a switch and he looked good. He got saved by George Pickens a handful of times on some underthrown balls. But he looked
Did you
he
hear
looked
his
good though.
interview at the end?
No.
Russ asked Russ. He was like, "Man, he's like, I had to get some of that rust off." He's like, "After I threw those 2 bad passes, I felt it. I just knew I was gonna have a bunch of." I was like, "Did you, Russ?" He's like, "I even told the guys. Oh, I'm feeling it now." What? From the 2 missed passes, and you're feeling it now? All right, Russ. I guess you can say that now that you played well and had a good game. But there's no way you saw that bad pass and was like, "Yeah, that's what I needed." I just had to shake that off. But
What the hell do the Jets do now? The Steelers are freaking 5-2. They were 4-2. They switched quarterbacks. Russ was good enough in the second half. They go 5-2. The Jets are now 2-5. Now we're looking at they have to win 7 or 8 of their final 10. What are they going to holler at Jordy Nelson to come out of retirement? It's not happening.
they should. The next step is to trade for Mike McCarthy. The next step is to trade Mike McCarthy from from the Cowboys to the Jets.
They haven't done anything this week, so they're out of time, right? Previous week they fired Saleh, then they traded for
There's
DeMonte.
nothing for unless they're going to bring Saleh back in a Bobby Valentine mask where he just has the Groucho mask and he's calling the defensive plays, and there's nothing they can do. There's no other option that they have.
Yeah, that team is done. Aaron Rodgers looks donezo.
He's destroyed the team.
He has.
They made They made a deal with the devil, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Oh, we get to have Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you get to have Aaron Rodgers. The three-time MVP Aaron Rodgers. Oh, what happens? Tears his Achilles. What happens? Comes back and he's trash. You got Aaron Rodgers in the Deshaun Watson. You've got Deshaun Watson in an Aaron Rodgers costume. He's gonna take it off, unzip it like a Scooby-Doo mystery. It's me, Deshaun Watson. It's crazy
Oh, what if
that
they what if
Achilles
they
is
flipped? What if they flipped? Aaron Rodgers is like they're like, let's skin swap for a week. They like do a Freaky Friday or something like that.
they both had Achilles injuries.
Hmm.
It's freaky Achilles, and they're both absolute trash.
Aaron Rodgers went from blaming the head coach to blaming not having his receivers, and this week, when
He
asked,
blamed himself.
heavens no, when this week when asked, what can you guys do to turn things around at a press conference, he says, well, stop listening to you guys for one. What? Like now he's blaming the media. He's blaming the New York media for their badness. Here's the thing. I love that the Jets are terrible, right? Because
Mhm.
Jets fans, the moment they got Jets fans are so cursed. They love this team for some reason, and just like bad just follows them. But they're like, as soon as they signed Aaron Rodgers, they were planning the path for the Super Bowl parade. They were.
Yeah, they were.
Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Like, well, we're done. Aaron Rodgers comes back. They're like, he's healthy. They were planning the path for the Super Bowl parade. And when asked at the beginning of the season, like, do you think the Jets are a Super Bowl contender? Jets making the playoffs should get a dang parade the way that they're like I don't know how you can get from being terrible to being a play. It's just not happening. And for the record, this time last year, Milf Hunter was
They were
4-3 with the Jets. Yeah,
They were winning.
they
Yep.
were 4-3 at this point in the season. Ooh wee, what a week!
You lo- it's funny to hear you talk so bad about Aaron
Oh, I
Rodgers.
hate the man.
He doesn't even play for
It
the
doesn't
Packers
it
anymore.
doesn't matter. He still carries that I'm a smug asshole aura around with him everywhere he goes. He's smarter than everybody else. He loves the attention, and
He does.
his family doesn't like him. His family hates him, like his parents and his brothers and sisters and stuff. Now I understand sometimes, like
You got family members.
you just don't like your family,
Everybody.
and that
Uh-huh.
happens, right? I totally get it. But I heard somebody say one time, and I remember this forever, and I'll never forget it. If you're walking around and you run into somebody and they're an asshole, okay, you ran into an asshole. If you walk around and you run into everybody and everybody's an asshole, you're
You're
the
an
asshole,
asshole.
right? That's Aaron Rodgers. Whew. All right. I just love I love that he's bad. I love that he's bad.
I see.
I just wish he was bad on the Packers. But here's the thing. He wouldn't be bad on the Packers because the Packers are such a machine of a team. That's the thing that makes me sick, and that's why I hate them so much. They're so goddamn good. Like, you don't have that. Like, the Cowboys are the closest to that in the NFC East, but look at them. They're flipping terrible, and they got a terrible owner, the guy that makes all the decisions. The Packers don't have that. The Packers have a
don't.
good GM, they have an amazing coach, and they have a system where guys just stand with no one around them, and Jordan Love can flip it over his head, and it doesn't matter. It gets caught for touchdowns. How? No one knows, but it happens.
Oh man, I was seeing something that they're talking about Mike Tomlin. They said Mike Tomlin with B B to C rate quarterbacks, right? Since Ben Roethlisberger left, he's had just somewhat crappy.
I would even say the
quarterbacks.
last 3 seasons of Ben Roethlisberger's career.
But they said that his winning percentage with those quarterbacks, like 560,
Mhm.
like 56% of the time he still wins. His record overall with Ben Roethlisberger, 68%.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter who's back there. That's why the change at quarterback, it meant nothing. To him, he's winning regardless because both of those quarterbacks are better than Mason Rudolph.
Mason and also better than Kenny Pickett.
I've got the and Kenny
Also
Pickett.
better than Desmond Ritter. And Desmond Ritter this week was picked up off of a practice squad by the Raiders. So now the Raiders
Better
have
than Mitch Trubisky too.
better than
Like these are the
better than Mitch
quarterbacks that he
Trubisky.
was running with.
Yes. He's better than everything. Whatever situation they run out there is better than what they have. The only thing I still like Justin Fields a lot, and I also want him to
do
play
too.
51% of
Of
the
course,
snaps,
he won't
so
do
the
it.
Bears
He's
get
smart.
that. I know he will play 50.8% of the snaps. He's not going to get to 51,
He's not gonna do it.
and he
And
knows
that's
that
unfair.
too.
That's unfair to Justin.
Yes.
But Justin, I think Justin knows that the person that they will probably re-sign, they'd re-sign him before they re-sign Russ.
Yes, probably.
So at the end of the year, it'll probably be a re-signing of Justin Fields versus Russ.
Yeah.
Regardless. Oh, where'd I go? All right.
What? Oh, did I block you up?
A picture went away. I was like, what that?
Oh no, that was my bad. All right.
So,
Do you want to hear how we did last week?
I don't think I did well because one, I said I couldn't pick Bo Nix 2 weeks in a row. I should have picked Bo Nix.
You went 8-7 this last week. You missed on the
Okay.
Saints. You missed on the Eagles, the Falcons, the Packers,
The Vikings.
the Vikings, the Chiefs, and the Cardinals.
Yeah, because I actually picked Herbert this time. Shouldn't have.
They really should.
'Cause he doesn't win.
Chargers should
He
win.
doesn't,
They were in a
but he
position-
doesn't win.
They were in a
He
position
doesn't.
to win, and they
He
didn't.
doesn't.
I know.
The new version of Tony Romo is the new Tony Romo.
He's better than Tony Romo was. So you went 8-7. And you're currently 63-44 on the season, which is pretty respectable.
Oh, never mind.
I went 10-5 this last week, and I'm at 64-43, which is more respectable.
More respectable. Oh, okay.
Pretty good. I don't know what the winning percentage is on that. Let's see. Oh God, I don't even want to do the math right now. Let's just go on to this week. We start off. We have another decent Thursday night game. There's no teams on bye this week, so we got a full
Okay.
slate. We got the Vikings going to the Rams. The 5-1 Vikings versus the 2-4 Rams.
Vikings.
Yes, I don't know if there's any I think this is definitely
And the
a
Vikings are well coached still, but they just don't have anybody.
Yeah,
Kyron Williams can do so much.
yeah. Now here's the thing: Matt Stafford's a good quarterback too. If
Yes,
Cup comes
he's
back,
getting old.
maybe
Getting
he's got
old in
somebody
the
to
tooth.
throw it to. He's got no one to throw it to.
Long in the tooth.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. All right. Oh, I didn't. Minnesota's 3-point favorites on the road.
Okay.
And then we got the noon slate on Sunday. Bengals host the Eagles. 3-4 Bengals, 4-2 Eagles. Cincinnati's 2.5-point favorites at home.
I was thinking about going Cincinnati. They've been playing very good ball, and they have something that the Giants could not take advantage of, even though this Eagles defense is poor.
Mhm.
It is poor, especially those DBs. Between Chase and Higgins with Burrow, he's gonna kill him. Now, yeah, granted, Saquon probably will still have a really good game, but it's gonna take more than that for to beat in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going for Cincinnati, the Bengals.
I'm going the Bengals as well. Let's see. Bengals. Then, for the continuing the noon slate, we have the Browns with who knows at quarterback, probably Dorian
Better be
Thompson.
Jameis.
Robinson,
It better be Jameis.
No, DTR got hurt, so it is Jameson. Yeah, him. Jameis Winston. Boy, names elusive today. Browns are 1-6 at home. They are 9-point dogs to the Ravens.
The Ravens?
The Ravens.
I thought I wanted to pick my man Jameis. Now I can't do that.
There's.
Oh my God, that's gonna suck for me in fantasy. They will be up 47-3 at halftime, and Lamar.
Well, just
will
hope
no
it's
longer be
500
playing.
yards passing, which it totally could be.
Could be, yeah.
Here's the thing: there is no Doctor Strange scenario of going to 12 million different simulations or whatever.
Where they win this.
If the Ravens don't win by 4 touchdowns, I'll be surprised. And 4 touchdowns
They
is a lot.
don't win by 4. They don't win by 4. They'll take the foot off the gas. 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
I said I'll be surprised. The Lions, first place Lions, coming off a big win on the road, are taking 5-1 Lions taking on the 1-5 Titans. Detroit are 11-point favorites.
Detroit. And now I don't know if I would took the points if we were playing point spread, but 11 points is a lot of points to beat
That
someone
is
by.
a lot of points.
9 was difficult when with the Ravens. Just 9, and they get 11.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
crazy. But
the Lions are at
other game
home.
was at home. The
The,
Ravens are 9-point favorites
on the
in
road.
Cleveland.
Yes. A
Okay.
fierce division rival too. Like
Yeah.
the Browns are like one of those teams that like, oh, we'll surprise you and we'll win one every once in a while. They used to do that to Steelers all the time. It's not
Mhm.
happening this time.
Not this
The
time.
Lions. Did you see what David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs want to be called?
No.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh.
I know, me too.
Like that.
I hate that the Lions are good and in my division. I really hate it because I want to like Dan
Oh.
Campbell and his craziness. I love his craziness because it's so out of. But I like him as a coach because he's such a football guy, and they got so much talent on that team. It's kind of sick.
Mhm.
Brian Branch, the second year safety that they drafted out of Alabama last year, is really good. And they had Joseph Kirby, who was really good out of Illinois, and this is his third year. They got two really good safeties. Oh, all right. Then we go down to Miami, where the Tua Dolphins are 2-4, host the Red Hot Cardinals 3-4. Miami are 3-point favorites at home.
Oh my gosh. I'm going underdog. I'm going Cardinals.
Going Cardinals. I'm going Dolphins because you know what? The Cardinals are
They're a
not good.
different team.
Neither are the
They're a different
Dolphins.
team.
It's during the day. It's a noon game.
Oh, that
It
matters.
says it's supposed to be 81 degrees AccuWeather with rain.
Okay, that means it's overcast. All right, so they don't have that advantage.
Well,
I'm
Devin
still,
A.
I'm still, I'm
Chan.
still, I'm still going there, and I've got both those guys.
Hmm. Maybe a running match. Very possible.
Yeah, but if it's a running match, it's going to be run by
Kyler,
Kyler. He gets all the rushing yards on that team.
he had that one this week, and it's like
Mhm.
the dude trying to
It's just so
tackle him,
weird running.
but the dude that went to tackle Kyler started like went to where Kyler was as opposed to where he's going. Like, what are you doing? That's not how you tackle a guy, especially a guy running 22 miles an hour. All right, then we have fresh off their London schlocking, the Patriots. The 1-6 Patriots are hosting, fresh off of their third consecutive embarrassment, the Jets, 2-5. The Jets are 7-point favorites on the road.
They have to beat the Patriots, right?
You would
I gotta
think.
go with the Jets. They
Yeah.
have to. They have better talent. Like
Just across the board. That
except for maybe coach, but whatever. We still
that Patriots team, that's the first I've watched all of the Patriots this last year. They are bad. They are
okay.
thin. They are Panthers bad, just less embarrassing. Does that make sense? Like you watch the
Yes.
Patriots, like they lose, but you're like you don't feel bad for watching the game. The Panthers, you're like, oh my god, you want to break that cyanide capsule in your tooth after you watch them. They're terrible. Buccaneers with no weapons
With no weapons.
host the Falcons. Atlanta's
Mm.
2.5-point favorites.
They just don't have anyone to throw the ball to.
No, they do not.
When Mike Evans and Godwin done,
I don't
they
know.
just don't have anyone to throw the ball to. And Baker, the Bake Show, will probably get makes a new receiver, but it's gonna be tough to go against Bijan and them. And they need to just start feeding Bijan the ball.
Agreed.
So
Falcons.
Falcons.
All right. Coming fresh from their British schlocking and then their British victory, the Jaguars are hosting 2-5 Jaguars are hosting the 5-2 Packers. The Packers are
Packers.
the Packers are 4.5 favorites. Now, see, this is a game where I think Trevor Lawrence builds off the momentum
Uh-oh.
of last game. They played really well offensively, and I think they win
Okay.
because they're at home, and it's the goddamn Packers.
You need them to lose somewhere.
The Texans, fresh off of their abysmal
Lost.
game,
Yeah.
5-2, hosting The 4-3 Colts. Houston are 6-point favorites.
Colts have been playing good, but that Anthony Richardson stat is not good.
No.
Not good. I gotta go Houston.
Yep, that's where I'm going
I
to.
don't know if Jonathan Taylor is even playing. I hope he is. I need him to. But
Texans. Then we get, this game wasn't originally a noon game, and they're like, the two rookie quarterbacks going at. We got to flex this to America's Game of the Week on CBS. And we have the Bears going to the Commanders. Commanders, possibly without Jaden Daniels, he's considered week to week, and it's iffy if he's going to play this Sunday. The Bears, for the first time in a very, very long time, are road favorites at 1.5 points.
just want to not pick the Bears, but I just don't know if Marcus Mariota, even though Cliff Kingsbury will probably get the best out of Marcus Mariota.
He did against the Panthers, but the Bears' defense is a different animal than the Panthers.
They are. They're much different. I'm gonna go with the Bears, just because I got to catch up, and I don't want to go with an underdog here.
Now, here's a good game that I know you'll love to pick. I haven't talked much about the Bears at all today. The Bears are going to destroy the Commanders. That's all I need to say right there. It's one of the, if you're a gambling person, which I know you are, and I know I am, if I had the means to put money down on Roma Dunze having a career game, I'm talking like 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's this one. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Write it in.
Pen.
Mark
Permanent marker. You get that tattooed right now on your forearm. 150 plus and 3 touchdowns. Oh, God, I just feel it. I've never been this confident about the Bears, and it's given me such courage. Here we go. We got the Chargers off a tough loss, 3-3, hosting.
You say that every week.
Hosting. Well, they're 3-3. They haven't had a tough loss 3 times. So they're 3-3 at home, hosting the 2-5 Saints. The Chargers are 7-point favorites.
Chargers lose this game, and you better believe I got words for you next week. I've got word.
I guarantee it's not Herbert's fault.
It's not his fault they win if they lose either.
If they win, it's definitely Herbert's doing.
Not the Saints stinking.
The Saints are terrible. Wow, are the Saints bad? The Saints, I watched so many bad teams play football this week. It was kind of nauseating. I don't really watch it. Like, I watched the Saints. I watched the damn Patriots. I watched the
Giants, probably.
I watched a little bit of the Giants. Yeah, I watched the damn Panthers. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I watched. It's just like too much. I didn't watch any Raiders, thankfully. So I assume you're taking the Chargers on that one.
Yes,
they're 7-point favorites. Then we have
the night game.
No, the Bills going to Seattle. Bills 5-2, Seahawks 4-3. Buffalo are 3-point favorites.
Going to Seattle, they're 3-point favorites?
Yes.
Seattle. I'm picking Seattle.
Well,
if I'm picking a dog, that's my dog.
That's your dog? Well, I'm going Bills.
Of course, because you don't pick underdogs anymore, sir.
I have a hard time going against Josh Allen, no matter the circumstance.
You do.
So I don't know why you'd be surprised about that. Like it went like Texans, Bears, Chargers, Bills. Like I don't know what run of quarterbacks are going to make me get all frothy at the mouth more than those 4. Now, here's what should be America's Game of the Week. The Broncos 4-3 hosting the 1-6 Panthers.
Yep.
Broncos 9-point favorites. 9.
They should beat them. It could be a field goal fest. It could be a field goal fest.
It will be. Who's going to kick more field goals? Who are you picking?
Oh, I'm picking the Broncos.
So am I.
Do you know what's the Panthers actually have a better quarterback?
Yeah, Andy Dalton versus Bo Nix?
Yeah.
It's possible. Here's what sucks. The Broncos are going to win this game, and they're going to be 5-3. And it's going to be like, how is that even humanly possible?
Yeah,
remember when the Broncos made the playoffs with Tim Tebow? This is on par with that.
It is.
They're going to skate their way in somehow because they got a last place schedule, and they're getting the – oh, boy. Here's another one too, man. The Raiders 2-5. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a receiver. They got nothing. They're hosting Kansas City. The who? The we just win Chiefs. All we do is win. Kansas City's
But
10-point favorites on the road.
listen, Antonio Pierce he does not like the Chiefs. He wants to beat the Chiefs. He won't beat the Chiefs. I'll be picking the Chiefs.
That's a smart choice. That is a smart choice. I am taking the Chiefs as well, not for any other reason other than they're the damn Chiefs. Ugh. Then we have Sunday Night Football coming off of the bye. The Dallas Cowboys fly out to the West Coast, the left coast, some say the best coast, to fight the 49ers. Both teams
Oh my
only
God.
have 3 wins. 3-3 Cowboys, 3-4 49ers. 49ers without Ayuk. He's done. ACL, MCL tear. No CMC. He's not coming back. No clue about Mason. Brock Purdy had a very
Mason
bad
will
game
play.
as a pro. Will Debo play? I don't know.
Debo had sickness though, I think.
Kittle will play. He always plays.
Kittle will play. That's still enough to beat the Cowboys.
You would think. Now the Cowboys are on the road. They're 3-0 on the road this season.
Yeah.
49ers are
They
2-2
usually
at home. 49ers have
they
lost
usually
2 of their 4 games at home.
The 49ers are a better coach team. Mike McCarthy's stupid.
That's true.
So I'm going 49ers because I can't pick the Cowboys.
49ers are favorites in this. I'm checking the 49ers as well. I don't think the Cowboys can win this game. This is close. I bet you if there were 12 million simulations, they probably win about 350 of them. I just don't see it happening. And then we get the Monday
Giants.
Night Spectacular. The Steelers. Who's going to be quarterback? No one knows. Probably Russ. But they're hosting the Giants. Who's going to be quarterback? Dayball confirmed it's Daniel Jones. Pittsburgh are 6.5-point favorites. The total for this game might be the lowest of the week, 36.5.
That's high.
It is the lowest total of all the games. I just scrolled through them all. No one else is in the 30s. Oh, except for the Chargers Saints, reasonable. Everyone else is at least scoring 40 points combined. 36.5 for the Steelers and the Giants. This could be a
Giants
field
gonna
goal
have-
fest of will.
Giants have an offensive explosion. I don't know how that's going to happen with TJ Watt actively in the backfield the entire game.
That should be a point of concern, young man.
It's a very big point of concern, sir. We have a legit right tackle, but if you move TJ to the left sometimes, it's gonna kill us. It's gonna kill us.
Man, I don't know. I almost feel bad for the Giants right now. I forgot about TJ Watt. Oh man.
Oh, I did.
Now here's the thing too. The offensive line for the Steelers is so Dexter Lawrence could have a game, and we might
He will have a game
we
because
might see
Lawrence-
Justin Fields due to Russ eating too much turf.
Russ takes hits. He does take hits.
We said that last
Yeah,
week.
no.
They're both very good at taking sacks. So we might get Justin Fields back out there to get to his 51% of the season. Get there. I'm taking.
But I thought it was starts. He has to start.
No, he has to play
51%.
51% of the snaps.
Okay.
So as long as he comes in and plays snaps, I don't care. I mean, he already played 6 games, so 6 snaps worth of games. That's like that's more than 30% of the snaps, 33% of the snaps. We're getting there. I just need that 4th rounder. I took the Steelers.
I think, of course, you did.
Nothing against the Giants, but I just don't see them winning.
It's a smart play. It's
Yeah.
a smart play.
And they're 6 and they're almost a touchdown favorite. Oh. Any locks of the week, Harlan? Anything you like? This has got to be the one. And you can't pick the Panthers losing. It's just
Oh man,
it's too easy.
if I can't pick the Panthers, any team going against the Saints right now is a lock.
Yes, I agree. That's the Chargers. That's Justin Herbert.
The Chargers would be the lock.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard to say. That's hard. That was difficult for me to say.
Justin Herbert is going to be out by halftime too because they're going to be up like 6 touchdowns. It's just going to happen. And
Who's he throwing the ball to again?
he's going to run him in himself.
Oh.
They're going to do Philly specials where he's catching the touchdowns.
He's throwing it as well.
Yes.
That's the
He's got
super Philly
He's got to
special.
skip it off a helmet with a spin, so it just kind of floats up there for a minute, and then he'll run it and catch it every time. Oh boy! All right. Well, we have to end it with one thing, and I hate being this guy that's like, oh, here's a random picture of a person in the stands, but this guy was instantly notorious or famous, whichever you want to. It was at a college football game this week. I got to find the picture. I've scrolled around so much I've lost it. But don't worry, I will find it because he's unmistakable. I don't know if you saw this with a Texas Georgia game this weekend.
Was it Georgia game?
Yes. This is an unaltered photo of just a random fan in the stands. Poor guy gets picked out, and we get this. He looks very upset, so I'm assuming he was a Texas fan.
Definitely. It looks altered. The picture looks.
It is not. It's not altered.
It is clearly photoshopped.
It is a screen capture. That is the biggest hair on the face of the earth.
And it makes his head look huge. Like the head
But it makes his face look really
body.
small, though. It looks like a meme drawing almost. His face looks so small on his head, and the hair is so big. And I don't like to do this because I think it's gross, but it wasn't somebody taking a picture on their cell phone to dunk on somebody at the gym.
This was insane aura.
This was on the broadcast of the game. The damn ESPN people said, we got to usually remember
that cameraman found that guy. Like, guys, the director said, leave it on him now.
Remember back in the days, it was like, oh, we got to find the pretty girls in bikinis and stuff like that. And it was like, and then it was like, well, it's a little bit skeevy and gross that you're constantly just staring at. Now it's just like, we got to find the most obscure, weird looking person we can find. And usually it's somebody painted up. It's college football. You can find all sorts of weirdos in the stands. This guy is just trying to watch a football game, and he makes national headlines because of his hair. It is so enormous.
It's huge.
I'm sorry. I got to show it again because it's clearly combed to look that way. He went through and he's like, going to this game, I got to look my best.
He said,
might get on TV.
He said, give me the Dorothy, the Dorothy from Golden Girls. He said, give me the Dorothy from Golden Girls. That's what I want.
And the barber went, okay, and went nuts with it. Like gave the Dorothy +2.
How is his hairline so that close?
I don't know.
Like, that does not look real. It can't be real.
It is real. It is very real. I assure you.
It's got to be a wig though. Like that can't be his real hair.
That's not a wig. You can almost see scalp through his hair almost. It is just a large ball of hair. It is unaltered. And this is one of those things where people are like, for every 10 likes I get on this tweet, I'll make his hair bigger. And then eventually, like, it got to like it was just his hair on the globe, right? Like, so it is an enormous. Like, I'm sorry, dude. I don't mean to call you. I don't know who you are. People can't see the picture, so they just have to search it up. If you search up Texas Georgia hair, I guarantee you find it.
Oh man, that's epic.
And it's not like I'm some suave, debonair, handsome devil. And I'm bald. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, he was sad too.
He's just. I don't know if he's sad. It's a moment of him staring at the field, right? If you look at it, there's like a girl or a guy. I don't know if.
Yeah, I thought someone was licking someone's feet. I was like, what is that?
Somebody's kissing an arm, because the guy kissing. He's like, that should be me. Like he went there as a group of friends. He's that guy. He's like, man, why am I the solo guy in here? I should be dating her or whatever, right? He's the one kissing her right on the arm. He's mad. He's looking away. And it gets caught.
Down. They had that guy pegged for the beginning of the game, and they knew this. If things get bad, we got to go back to them. This is our ace in the hole. This is our ace in the hole right here.
Yep. Poor dude. Man, oh man. I have nothing else to say other than, man, that's a lot of hair.
That was a lot of hair.
I think that's a perfect way to
AI,
end it.
draw me a picture of a guy with a lot of hair. That's him.
Oh, I know. Yeah, exactly. You don't even have to see the picture, and you can imagine it. You either draw like really long hair or really big hair, and that's what you get is big hair. And it's not like an afro. It's not like
It's not the Ross. It's
no.
not the Ross. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's not something you aim
It's
for,
a nest. It's
right?
the bird's nest.
But
He's just got like a bird's nest, a sparrow's nest of hair. Or
and here's where I'm almost going to go with you on this is not real. It's a helmet because if you look, it goes over his ear too.
It's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair.
What
Like he doesn't even comb it behind his. He doesn't get it cut so it's like nice line up over his ear. No, it looks like somebody just put
hair on is like a helmet. Yes,
yes.
a hair helmet. He's got a hair helmet that
Like
he brings.
like what if he rode a motorcycle there and he's just one of the he's the guy that wears suspenders, has a yo-yo, and he's got a helmet that looks like hair. And he's like, I'm gonna get going, guys. He puts the helmet on. We're down so big. He puts the helmet on. They're like, attention, we're drawing the 50-50 raffle now. He's like, oh wait. So he waits to see, and that's when they catch him.
He's got his hair helmet
He
on.
put his helmet on, he's gonna go get on his bike and go home. Or his unicycle. He's a unicycle rider with a helmet like that.
Gotta be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be safe.
Oh, this poor guy. He's probably getting torn up by his people way cooler than I am.
Or he just started a podcast the other day, and now he's got 500,000 views.
It's him, Captain Dan, who stayed in the boat during the hurricane, and the Hawk Tua girl are starring in a sitcom this summer. Or this
Oh,
upcoming.
it'd be awesome.
They're all billionaires now. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, boy, what would it call? What would we call it? Because Captain Dan was crazy. Hawk Tua was just nothing but spit on that thing, and and a hair.
And helmet hair. Not even helmet hair. Because helmet hair is the difference. That's like the hair you get after you put the helmet on, so it doesn't give you the same thing. This is just like a helmet of like a wig on top of a helmet. It's weird.
It's very strange. It's such a strange look. And he's
He's pulling it off.
He's pulling
He's doing the best. He's
if
doing the best you can.
anyone can pull it off, it's that guy.
It's him. He's
He
doing
did
the
it.
best you can.
Man, good for him. Oh, yep, he's probably a millionaire. He probably got some nil deal.
Mhm.
He's appearing in commercials for Bo Ricks or something like that now.
Oh man.
All right, Harlan. I know
All right,
you're on
man.
the East Coast and you're traveling, man.
I am. I am. You see the view with the light right in my face. Every time I look that way, I get a little blinded by
Yep.
the light that is just shining right in my
Light in
face.
your eyes. Hotel bed right behind you, I assume. You're probably
Oh,
gonna
it's
like
horrible. It's
you're
horrible.
gonna do the Nestea plunge. You're gonna stand up and or Lipton and just like fall backwards into it. I get it.
Oh my God, that bed is horrible.
They all are. I
Yes.
can't remember the last time I stayed at a good hotel. All right. Well,
All right, man.
I'm gonna let you go.